Arsenal news. He's so good. Mikel Arteta praises Martin Zubimendi after 3-2 Arsenal win versus Chelsea. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta heaped praise on midfielder Martin Zubimendi following the club's 3-2 win over Chelsea in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final at Stamford Bridge. The Gunners went into the game with an 8-match unbeaten streak against the Blues and continued the run with an impressive all-around performance. Victor Gyökeres bagged the Man of the Match award after a goal and an assist, but Zubimendi was equally good and caught the eye with his forward runs. The Spaniard scored the third goal with a fine left-footed shot from a Gyökeres assist, but was also solid with his distribution, completing 94% of his passes. Speaking after the game, Arteta said that Zubimendi has similar qualities to Declan Rice and added that the Spanish midfielder is so good at occupying different spaces, carrying the ball, dribbling, winning duels, and he has a talent when he gets into the final third and into the box. He's so composed, he sees the picture very clear. The picture actually is clear sometimes. I know the parts of the pitch, and what he's done today I think is phenomenal, not only the goal but the performance as well. Zubimendi was one of 8 signings made by the Gunners during last summer's transfer window. The former Real Sociedad man has undoubtedly been the best acquisition for the London Giants. He's been terrific in the number 6 role for Arteta's side and has brought the best out of Rice too, with the Englishman having more freedom to press forward due to the defensive assurance behind. It was the other way around on different occasions yesterday. Zubimendi made a couple of untracked forward runs during the opening half and eventually capitalized in the second half to bag the club's third goal. His strike has helped Arsenal secure a slender 1-goal advantage for the second leg. The Gunners host Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium on February 3rd. There is plenty to play for before then. The Gunners face Nottingham Forest away from home in the league this weekend, followed by a big challenge against Inter Milan in the Champions League at the San Siro. Arsenal then face Manchester United, Kairat Almaty, and Leeds United in the space of 6 days before hosting the Blues in the second leg of the League Cup next month. Berta's best signing. Arsenal star was even better than Gyökeres v Chelsea. It wasn't the perfect performance, but Arsenal just about did what they needed to do on Wednesday night. Chelsea, with new boss Liam Rosenior in the dugout, hosted Arsenal's side for the first leg of the League Cup semi-final. On paper, the Gunners were the stronger side, especially with the player the Blues were missing through injury and suspension, but that only added to the pressure on their shoulders from the 1-1 draw there a couple of months ago. Fortunately, Arsenal rose to the occasion, and while some players were a little lackadaisical, some really shone, including Victor Gyökeres and someone who could go down as one of the club's best signings in a long time. How Gyökeres helped down Chelsea. It would be fair to say that since his big money move to Arsenal in the summer, things have not gone particularly well for Gyökeres. Sure, there have been the odd moments of class, like against Leeds United and Atletico Madrid, but on the whole he has been poor and often anonymous in games. It looked like Wednesday night was going to be another disappointing performance from the Swedish international when the half-time whistle went. However, the former Sporting CP man came alive in the second half and showed some of what fans were hoping he'd be like from the start of the campaign. The 27-year-old suddenly became a constant thorn in the side of the Blues' backline, using his strength to hold up the ball and bring others into play. More importantly, though, he also scored his first goal in open play for an age, getting on the end of a Ben White cross spilt by Robert Sanchez less than a yard in front of the goal. Then, if that wasn't enough, he also set up the following goal with some great hold-up play. In all, Gyökeres managed to turn what could have been a middling performance into a great one, and fans will be hoping that he'll now kick on. However, while Gyökeres was impressive, another Arsenal star was even better, someone who could go down as one of the club's best signings in a long time. Arsenal star outshone Gyökeres. The good news for Arteta and co. is that there were a few other players who put in solid performances for Arsenal on Wednesday night, but when it comes to the standout star, it's hard to look past Martin Zubimendi. The Spanish international has been a little up and down in recent weeks, but against Chelsea, the rookie £60 million signing was back to his very best. If he wasn't helping to win the ball back with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, he was dictating play from deep and showing his sheer class on the ball. It's this ability to heavily influence games in both phases of play that makes the former Real Sociedad star such an integral part of Arteta's team, or as ESPN's Roberto Rojas put it, the club's best signing made under Andrea Berta's reign. However, the project-defining signing, as dubbed by Arsenal writer Adam Keyes, wasn't content with just conducting from deep. He wanted to get on the score sheet himself, which is exactly what he did. After Gyökeres held the ball up perfectly, the midfield maestro beat two players in the penalty area before lashing the ball past Sanchez. The watching press were understandably blown away by what they saw, and Football.London's Tom Canton awarded the Basque genius a 9.0 match rating at full time. Unsurprisingly, Zubimendi's statistics more than justify such a rating. In 96 minutes of action, he completed 32 of 34 passes, played one key pass, took 2 shots, completed 100% of his dribbles, took 51 touches but lost the ball just 5 times, recovered the ball 3 times, made 2 interceptions and 1 clearance. Ultimately, it was an important win for Arsenal, and a game in which Gyökeres and Zubimendi really showed just how talented they are. Troy Deeney caused a stir with Arsenal comments straight after the 3-2 win versus Chelsea. Former Birmingham City and Watford striker Troy Deeney has come under fire for his comments about Arsenal made in the immediate aftermath of their 3-2 win over Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final first leg on Wednesday night. The Gunners now have one foot in the final after their victory at Stamford Bridge, with the second leg set to be played at the start of February. The result means the Gunners have now lost just twice in their last 30 matches across all competitions, winning 24 of them in the process. Any lingering doubts about their ability to turn strong performances into sustained, trophy-winning success are quickly being eased. Ranked as the best football team in the world right now, with a perfect score of 100 out of 100, Arsenal are among the favorites in every competition they remain in, including the Premier League and the Champions League. However, given their history of near misses, there are still critics who remain unconvinced and who won't admit defeat until silverware is finally in hand. Deeney claims Arsenal might go trophyless in 2025-26. During his punditry duties for CBS Sports Golazo, Deeney claimed that Arsenal will need to win 1 or 2 trophies this season to be considered successful, given the position they're in. However, he then immediately raised doubts about their ability to get over the finish line, saying Nigel Reo-Coker echoed the sensational claims made by his punditry partner by suggesting that Manchester City could catch up to Arsenal in the Premier League and that they are not the best team in the Champions League, despite currently sitting top of the league phase. Their comments, not very well timed following an Arsenal win, have come under heavy scrutiny. One ex-user remarked, "Zero objectivity. Zero. Send Deeney home. He's better at doing this on his couch." A third wrote, "Deeney, you were just an Arsenal hater. Why do you assume negative vibes towards them?" While a fourth concluded, "How is Troy Deeney a pundit? Look at the bias. Arsenal promised him a contract and pulled out, and he never forgave them." Arsenal's chances of silverware revealed by statistics. Arteta has never lost a final during his career, both as a manager or as a player. Following the 3-2 victory at Stamford Bridge midweek, his side have been given a 42% chance of winning the Carabao Cup at Wembley Stadium, despite Manchester City's 2-0 win at Newcastle appearing the more convincing result. When it comes to the Premier League, Arsenal have been given an 86% chance of winning the title for the first time in 22 years, according to the latest supercomputer predictions. Should that data-driven hypothesis prove correct, the Gunners would cruise to the title, finishing 10 points clear of their nearest rivals.